Hi, this is Mandy from Sunflowers and Doors. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, a huge welcome, and thank you for joining me. For those of you who are part of this channel, always great to spend some time with you. So today is just a quick video, really quick, and it accompanies a freebie that is going up in the Facebook group. The Facebook group is Junk Journal Fix with Sunflowers and Doors, and the link will be below. And this is a freebie using part of the kits that we are hosting as part of the Out With a Bang 2025 collaboration. If you don't know about the collaboration, the information will be in the description box below. It's a month-wide collaboration for the month of August. There are kits that are available with 25% off, both from my Etsy and also from Julie's Papercrafts Ko-fi, and there are also a number of freebies that have already been released into the Facebook group, and there are more coming each week. So there's no need to necessarily buy the kits if you want to just take part. There's different prompts each day, and this isn't really based on a prompt, but I have tried to incorporate part of the prompt with it. So this make here is inspired completely by Julie from Jules Designs, and I will link Julie's video in the description box below so you can pop over and have a look at that. Julie made some heart pockets which were absolutely adorable, and I couldn't help but want to recreate that make and kind of do that myself. So as with most things, I try to adopt digitals that will kind of make the process easier for anybody wanting to join along, especially for those who are newer to crafting. And that's what I've got here today. So I've got two digitals. One of them is the actual pocket, and one of them is some journal cards to go into the pocket. I've also got some letters. They're not part of the digitals, but they are the bits that I'm adding to create the letters part of the prompt. So, okay. I am going to have a play, and you are welcome to just play along with me. And I'm going to use those because I'm not used to them enough yet. So I'm going to start with literally just cutting out the main piece here. The bottom shows you what it will look like once you've put it together. Well, it gives you an idea of what it will look like once you put it together. You know, it might look a little bit different. It depends on how you really want to play with it. There's a couple of different options, so literally you just make it yours. So I hope you are taking part in the collaboration, and if not, I hope you are watching the videos and getting a load of inspiration from the creators that have joined us this month again. It's a lot of work to kind of be part of the collaboration, and people put a lot of time and effort into it, so it's always fantastic when people take the time to watch the videos, but even more so when you can add a like or a comment. And I know it's really hard because sometimes we watch videos, don't we, while we're crafting, and other times we watch them on, I don't know, mobile devices where it's difficult to leave the comments, and sometimes remembering to go back and do that can be a challenge. You know, I've done it myself, but what I'm trying to do now is I'm really trying to make an effort when I've watched a video to put a like and a comment, just because it really does support the designers that are working on creating that content. Okay, so I've cut this out. It doesn't look much like a heart, I know, but there are two lines down here that you will see. So the idea, I've backed this onto grid paper. Might not be everybody's taste, and it's not part of the kit, but I have backed it onto grid paper. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to score down, oops-a-daisy, I'm going to score down that line here, like so. I didn't do a very good job with that actually. Let me just see if I can fold it better. Yeah, it folds better without the scoreboard. So I'm just going to fold that like so, and fold this one. And as I said, there are score lines, so you know exactly where to fold. Just going to re-tidy or reline up that one a bit, because I didn't do a great job with it. Okay, now the next thing you want to do is decide which way you want your pockets. Do you want it that way or that way? I'm going to put this one on top, which means I'm going to have to cut a little bit of this off because it's not going to let me fold well. So only a little bit, just so that I can create that look there. And that's it. That's as simple as it is. So you can either attach that to your journal page, you could use it as a belly band, as a pocket, as a text spot, or you could pop it into a text spot or a pocket or whatever. And of course, you can resize it when you're printing, just to have something that's, you know, specifically for what you want. Size-wise, you haven't got to go with this because I have made the print quite big, so you can size that down if you would like some mini versions. I'm just going to ink around now with a little bit of vintage photo, just to add a little bit of definition on here, as like that. And then what I'm going to do with this is I'm not going to do it quite yet because I've got some letters I want to put on here, but I'm going to then be gluing this, which will create my pocket. And it's as simple as that. So let's move on to the tags. I've done 3 tags for this, and the reason I've done 3 tags is because I thought a layered tag look would be pretty cool. And I've also backed this onto graph paper because that again will allow you to use these as journaling spots if you'd like to do that. So I'm just going to quickly cut these out. I'm terrible for trying to cut and talk at the same time. If you are going to use these and you've resized your pockets, just obviously remember to resize these because they're created to fit in the pocket in a layered look. So there's the first one. And I'm just doing the second one. You can stitch around these if you like the stitched look, which I think does look pretty cool. Or you could embellish them even more. You can do whatever you would like to do. I'm literally, as I said, just doing a really quick pop-up video. And there's no real planning to this. I've just printed off these and I'm making them for the first time on camera with you. I was just laughing because I watched Bumblebee Crafts, their video today, and it was a case of no prototype, let's just put the camera on and get on with it, and that is just so me. I will do a prototype if I'm really, really desperate, but I'm not one of those people. I prefer to just put the camera on, and if it goes peak-tong, it goes peak-tong, but it goes peak-tong together. So yeah, that's my thought process on that. So I'm just going to cut these letters out here. The actual pocket and card was printed on Epson heavyweight paper. This is just copy paper because it literally is just cutting out some bits to stick on. So I didn't want to bulk it out by using heavy paper for this process. So I'm not quite sure yet what these are going to look like. They fitted when I first did them, and then I added a border around them, so I have no idea if they're going to fit now or how it's going to look, but we'll just have a play together, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't. Almost there. I can't even fast forward my videos at the moment either because my software just won't, it crashes every time I try to do that. So feel free to zoom ahead. Okay. There are letters, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to pop these on here. So the idea is that we'll have oops. So that's the idea, and I think they will fit. Be a little bit snug, but they should fit. So I'm going to start with my T, and this kit is the Shabby Things kit that I'm using here. So the wording is things because it's part of the kit. Stacey. I'm concentrating now because my biggest thing was I'm going to put these letters on in the wrong order and end up with I don't know what, but it's going well so far. Just 2 more. And again, no real rhyme or reason, I'm just popping these on. Like so, which I think looks really good. And then, as I said, I'm just going to glue my one pocket on top of the other, like that. And there's our pocket. And then with the journal cards, I am going to, no, not with that one, with this one. I am going to go around these. And as I said, all of these have been back, so you've got writing space on the back of all of them. It's funny, doesn't it? Just a little bit of ink really just changes the look of an item completely. Sometimes I do love grunge, absolutely adore grunge, but sometimes I love it on projects and other times I don't. So what I'm going to do at the moment is I'm going to line up my hearts, and I'm lining them up at this part here where the heart dips. Hasn't got to be perfect, but I'm just lining those up. So then I'm going to put a small hole, and it's going to have to be a small hole because I don't want to cut off all of her head, in there like that. And I'm going to use ball pins. Now you could use eyelets, but I'm not going to. I'm going to use ball pins, and I'm going to, let's see what I've got in. Luckily my pinks are at the top. I put all my buttons in here. Not sure if it was a good idea, but I went with it because I needed a better solution. I don't think that's, no, it's not pink, but it's not bad. It's purple. It's more of a salmon. Let's play with those and see what that looks like. Ooh. Okay, and then the other thing I want to look at is see if I've got a little bit of lace, just a little snippet of lace, nothing major. Maybe even something like that. And what colour? That's really nice pink. That's a lovely pink as well. That's very pearlescent. Oh, almost lost it. It's got a pearlescent type look to it. So let's pop that in there. Let's pop that in there. And let's pop that in there. And then pop this in here, like so. So that will keep, hides the woman's face, but you can always play with that. Yeah, I'm not sure it actually hides. I think it hides it too much, to be honest. So let's take that off. And instead what we'll do is we will take that top bit, that should fit on there. Yeah, again, it's just going to hide it, so we're not going to do that. I will have to find something. Definitely want to use that one because I really like that. And with this, I think I'm going to have to keep it really simple and just attach these with the ball pin, and have that as my layered tags. Or I could let's get a jump rope. That was clever. Had the perfect size and dropped it straight back in. my jump ring to go through there. Like so. And then I can add, let's see if this will go on here. Yeah, but again, I still don't like that. Gosh, fussy today. Being really fussy today. So I'm going to leave the jump ring on there at the moment just because it's kept them all together. What I'll probably do is put a little piece of lace, make the hole a bit bigger, put a little bit of lace in there to keep those together, because I want them to be able to move. The only other thing I could do, see, this is what happens when you don't plan. I could just put a brad in there instead. So that'll go in there like that. And then we'll open that up. So that keeps them together. We've got our movability elements. You can still write on the backs of them. And I want to just add a little bit here. I think that might be a bit small because I'm not catching it all. So I think I might go with that and that. Just to add a little bit of prettiness. I don't generally do pretty, but we'll add a little bit of prettiness. And let's just glue this in place. Now my Fabri-Tac I'm going to use because it's working with laces and stuff. And if you really wanted a authentic look, then you can always hand stitch your button to your fabric before you put it on, and have some little bits of stitching just hanging down to give you more of a shabby feel to it. So we've just got our pocket there with our letters on. We've got our little embellishment just there, add a little bit of prettiness, and we have got our tags that we fit inside our pocket. If you really wanted to, you could put another hole in there and attach them with this, and then have them that they remove as and when you want them to. You're just playing around there, I suppose, with brads opening and closing them all the time, which isn't ideal. So anyway, that is my quick heart pocket with tags project for the Out With A Bang collaboration. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. Huge thanks to Julie for the inspiration. I'm sure most of you have seen Julie's video, but if you haven't, as I said, I've popped a link to that below. And yeah, go over and have a little look at that. But I'll leave it there, and I'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget, this is a freebie going in the Facebook group, and it's going in on the, I think it's the 8th, whatever day the Friday is, of August. 8th or possibly even 9th, but Friday. So keep an eye out for that. Yeah, okay, I will catch you again. Bye for now.